Damn, son, where'd you find this?
People don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who act like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lied.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late. They cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
Mantra, slave songs, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I and my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of the front on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging the generations remember our story.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Friday, good people. How's everybody doing? I hope well. Shout outs to my poets, writers, content creators, so on and so forth. My partner's having some technical difficulties with his setup, so I will be at your service this morning. Later on, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Drake, Aiden Ross, RICO charges. Tap in. We gotta have a conversation. This morning, T.I., I've been waiting to address this one. He has some choice words. I mean, you know how he speaks. He's pretty articulate. He didn't come off malicious to me. It wasn't nothing slanderous, but it's something that I've had conversations about with many people before. And I want to kind of give my 2 cents about it. So just in case y'all not familiar with this particular story, I have a clip that I'm going to bring up on the big screen now. And we're going to rock out. I hope the new year has been well with you so far. It's only day 2. Stay strong. Stay on your mission. Don't let nothing distract you or take you off your course. Anyway, let's jump into it. Mr. Tip Harris, you have the floor.
Dinner like a church person. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a house with a strong, praying, tambourine bumping grandmama. You know what I'm saying? My auntie, strong, very, very strong in prayer. So I know how to pray and I know the word. You know what I'm saying? I know God is real and I've seen the presence in the hand that he's had in my life personally. Don't nobody ain't got to tell me that. I just ain't never felt the connection with church.
Why?
Man, I just don't know. It just ain't. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think it's real. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a business just like anything else, and it's a show just like anything else. You know what I mean? Just like you go to Broadway, you see a show. I feel like it's just like somebody standing up and public speaking, just like you get like a TED talk. If and a lot of times they be putting a lot of cap on it. And when I say cap, I'm saying cap in their action. The word is the word, but sometimes they try and twist the word, make the word mean something, you know, that will be personally benefiting to them, and not necessarily what the word mean, you know, as its purpose. And that to me, because if you think about it, and only times when you read the word, anybody know the word, and you study the life of Jesus Christ, the only time you really saw Jesus Christ lose his temper was in the church. He went to the church and seen what was going on in the church, seeing how the church people were handling the word of God and what they were doing to manipulate it, to personally benefit, you know, from the word of God. That's when Jesus got mad, flipping table.
Oh, that's when he flipped the table.
Yeah, flipping table. You know what I'm saying? And he had Jesus out here like he don't love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's why. Cause I connect with the word, like the true word, the spirit. I don't need no broker. I don't need no middleman. I don't need nobody to get my word. You know, I done heard a preacher, I've been to church before, and the preacher say, come on, y'all, put it to the collection plate, dig deeper, get your prayers past the ceiling. I say, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all telling me I got to pay this joker. You know what I'm saying? For my God to hear my prayer, man, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
that's unfortunate. Like that. Those moments are unfortunate.
I mean, they are, and I'm not, and I don't put that on the entire, because I think for the most part, there are people who are strong, church-going, God-fearing people that go to church with the intention of serving and praising God. However, you know, I think there's some leadership. There's enough leadership. There's enough people in enough positions that understand that there is ways to manipulate this word to personally benefit. I've never been.
Look, man, let's go ahead and do this. His explanation is the exact same reason why many people don't believe in God. It's why a lot of people who start going to church stop going. And I understand it. I get it. It took me years to find a church home, my own, because I couldn't decipher at that particular time the difference between someone who was out for self and as being a vessel. I couldn't distinguish the two. So I preferred to be in my own mess. I decided if I'm gonna figure this out, I'm gonna have to figure this out with me and Jesus himself. Not the person that I went to high school with, not somebody on social media, not this, not my cigarettes and my alcohol. Matter of fact, the only way I was going to be able to figure out what was through my own personal experience. I used to drink, and I used to smoke heavy. And I made a lot of poor choices with friends. And it made me depressed. It made me resentful. It made me hate myself. When you live worldly, and I'm taking you somewhere. When you live worldly, it does something to you spiritually, mentally, emotionally. spiritual sickness is indescribable. There's no way to explain to another human being what that looks like and what that feels like. See, I grew up a Baptist. That's how my family raised me. They believed in God. They prayed and they prayed, but they didn't do it consistently. So I always knew God was around. Even if I didn't know that he was physically here, I knew that this is what I was taught to believe. Your grandmother, your great grandmother, your great great, all of them told you to go to church, sit in church. I didn't know no better shit. As far as I was concerned, who are we really praying to? Who we talking to? But I was told, well, you're praying to your creator. So I stuck with that. I just believed in it. It's a different type of faith to believe in something, even though you never seen it before, you never experienced it. You don't know what the hell, you don't know what it looked like. You ain't never sat down with this person and had a conversation with them or went grocery shopping or nothing. This is a character that is created by other adults. So that part of me always was around, but I kind of just dismissed that. I'm like, shit. If my people say that God is real, then God is real. And for the longest time, I ran with that. And long story short, I strayed off of my course. I started drinking, smoking, started having indiscriminate sex out of wedlock. You know how that go when you decide that you want to live the lifestyle that is outside of the word. And then what I ended up doing was I found out the hard way how humans are. See, my sin taught me who I was and what I was becoming. It showed me my sickness. It showed me what I was doing to other people, how I was affecting their life with my indiscretions, with my secrecies. That's not even a word. With my lies. It's no different than putting something unhealthy in your body and you start to get sick from it. Everybody around you can tell you stop eating this. Everybody around you can tell you that's not your friend. Everybody can tell you to eat your Wheaties, eat your vegetables, go to the hospital, see a doctor, get help for this, get help for that. Pray to God, pray to do. You can say that to somebody all day. Don't matter. I personally, I need to know for myself. Period. I need to know if he real. That way, nobody can tell me anything else. I don't need you trying to sway me or convince me that he's an invisible fictional character in a book. I'm going to go ahead and find out if Jesus is real. So, most of my past history is poor decisions and miscalculations. And in every incident, even when like I would turn my back and walk away, I would pray And I would say thank you, even with all that. Good morning. Good morning. Even with me believing in God and believing in Jesus Christ, I still wanted to live the way that I wanted to. I wanted to smoke when I wanted to. I wanted to be out here in the street. I wanted to do what the fuck I wanted. And I did that. And even with me hanging around people I knew didn't fuck with me, and even with me going out here and sleeping with all these different people and all that stuff, and the only person that was ever still around was him. How do you know that? How do I know he was there? Because I should have been dead a long time ago. I've had guns pulled on me. I've had scares, death threats. My family has a history of dying to cancer. There's many instances where I should be in the ground right now. And I go and I look back at those situations when I was drunk and I was high and I was seeing them demons. And even with me, with all of my stuff and my mess, even with me laying in my own vomit, and everybody else turned their back on me and walked away from me. Jesus Christ is the only one that was reminding me every day that I'm the one that woke you up this morning. I saw what you did. I saw what you was looking at. I saw what you did to her. I saw what you did to him. I see what you're doing to your family. I see how you destroying them. I see how disrespectful you are, disobedient you are, rebellious you are. You cussed me out a few times. You broke a few promises. You didn't hold your end of the bargain. But guess what? I woke you up. That air that's coming out of your lungs, I gave that to you. And guess what I did? I kept on drinking, I kept on smoking, and I kept on going out here being ignorant and being disrespectful. And the deceit and the pain and the frustration that was returned to me dealing with folks that I shouldn't have been around always reminded me that there's a duality in this life. And God will bring people in your world to show you who you are, and he will bring people in your life to show you who you are supposed to be. And he showed me both. Where I didn't have the type of examples that was necessary to reach me specifically in my own unique way, he brought that to me throughout my rebellious nature. So you think you a pimp, you think you independent woman, and you think you know everything that's going on in life, you got the whole world figured out. He will humble you, and he will humble you immediately. He will humble you in a increment of years. Oh, you think just karma comes and just you stubbing your toe? Nah. You remember what you did to your best friend in 6th grade? Yeah. You're 25 years old now. And now you got somebody that was exactly like you in the 6th grade doing to you what you did to them. You remember when you was out here fucking everything that you you saw and you thought was attractive, and you wanted to be out here playing the game. Well, guess what? I brought you your own Delilah. I brought you your own version of who you were when you was running around breaking people's hearts. Congratulations. Oh, you like to work under the table. You like to lie to people. Okay, I got you. What am I getting at here? I ain't lying. There's a lot of churches right now. Matter of fact, if you scroll, I don't even know if I uploaded it yet, but if you scroll my page, I cover stuff like this. There was one pastor specifically. He said, and he stood there in front of his congregation and said, God told me whoever sows a seed of $10,000 in 90 seconds, God will make you a millionaire. Last year, we covered at least 2 stories on churches trafficking their congregation, working them like slaves, mega churches. At Octavia, I am open to all perspectives. Just to answer your question, fast forward, the point that I'm getting at, yeah, there are plenty of places that are liars, that are deceivers. That doesn't mean that every single church is the same way. Yeah, the church is a business. How do you think the doors stay open? But this is all prophetic. Many will proclaim to be something that they're not. Many are going to be false prophets. What do you see all around you? It don't matter if it was in a church or if it was on YouTube or if it was on Twitter. Everybody is trying to be something that they aren't. You weren't ordained to speak the word. He's right. Unfortunately, and what I would like to offer, like Octavia had just so generously brought to my attention, is a different perspective. The church, the infrastructure itself, it has absolutely nothing to do with your relationship with God or Jesus. You want to know if he's real and you don't believe and you think it's made up, that's your jurisdiction. That's your prerogative. I have no pushback on that. I'm not here to scold nobody. The story that I told you about my childhood and me being out here wild in the street was to say I've gone to many churches and I saw exactly what he was talking about. So I decided that I would sit this one out for a while. I've told this story before. I'll sit this out for a while. And I would just stay and drink and drink and drink and drink and get drunk. And then I would just stare off into space, sometimes wondering, God, why do you keep me alive? Why don't you just take me? Because this ain't it. It's not. I'm not feeling it. Maybe if I drink and smoke this away, then I'll be cool. Maybe you'll just make death swifter. Go ahead and take me out of my misery. I would talk to him high, drunk, and all that. That's my way. Everybody is different. Remember what I said. I'm trying to figure out if he's real or not. So I got to come to you as I am. I can't be no politician. Can't be no social media influencer. I can't read off a teleprompter and pretend like I'm perfect. I have to tell you exactly what's up. This is how I am. I'm a fucking belligerent fool right now. I'm high as hell and this, that, and the third. Do you still love me? Do you still see me? And through all of that, he showed me that he was still there. You know how I know he was still there? Because I keep waking up, even when I don't even feel like it. I done tried to jump in traffic. I done tried to overdose on pills. I done had the gun put to my head. I wanted the trigger I just wanted to pull the trigger. I wanted to end it all. My folks busting in the room. I done been down that road many times. Life is not just, oh, Cardi B is this and Sexy Red did this. Life is not peaches and cream and pretty. It's a beautiful disaster. It's knowing yourself and then hating yourself. It's not knowing yourself and trying to figure out who the hell you are. It's trying to figure out who to trust. Can you trust yourself? Can you trust the people around you? Can you trust the words that are coming out of people's mouths? Do the actions match up to what they're saying? You get lost. You go through seasons of being different people, trying to fit in and trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Pushing through narratives, pushing through stereotypes. Even to this day, the struggle to overcome the demonic stuff. It's a consistent battle. But he's always been the main factor. He'll put me in a position to see a person for who they really are, even though I'd want to ignore all the red flags. I've been chastised. I've been put in situations where I was just milliseconds away from being hit by buses, by cars. I done went through some shit. That's how I know he exists. I couldn't have quit smoking. I couldn't have quit drinking. Someone asked me last night, do you want to smoke? I'm like, nah, I don't smoke no more. I stopped smoking like 7-8 years ago. What? How you do that? I went cold turkey. Nah, ain't no way you did that. Yeah, I went cold turkey. It wasn't easy. It was hard as hell. But that's the thing. My story is different than yours. If I told you the reason why I stopped smoking was because I saw actual demons in my high, like under that influence, I saw what it looked like. It was like visible, just like I'm visible to you. I could see what the demonic spirit looked like that was specific to me. That freaked me out. And the way that my attitude was and how my personality changed, like spiritual sickness It's unlike anything that people can really comprehend. Bottom line is, I had to find out if Jesus was real or not, and I did. So can nobody convince me otherwise? I know he is, which is why I'm here, because of him. Church is for the spiritually sick. It's like a hospital. I had to understand I'm not going there for show and tell. I'm not going here for you or her. I'm going there because I need salvation. I need to find out how I can barely make it into heaven when all is said and done. I'm not playing with you. I'm not trying to win no popularity contest on this fucking site. I'm not trying to conform to nobody. I don't care about none of that. Your life should be the most valuable thing that you have. Everybody here, you live once, you die twice. If you're lucky, you pass on and you live forever, but you will die twice. There's a second death. I don't want to experience that. So I need to know. I'm not coming into this space to look good or see who is married and see who is single. My first time going back officially to church, I was raggedy as hell. I didn't have shit to my name. Nothing. Going there, they welcomed me with open arms. My neighbor put me on. I went in there just to see how the energy was, how the vibe was. And the way that the pastor speaks, guess what? The way that the pastor speaks, you're either going to get mad because they're not kissing your butt, they're not lying to you and picking and choosing what scriptures to read to make you feel better. They're not trying to cushion you or coddle you. They telling you straight up, this is this is that. But with love, it's all love. It's all tough love. It's critique. It's chastisement. And the way that I was in awe. I was like, I can't really. Yeah, this is different. This is extremely different. This sounds like me. You're not even talking to me, but you talking to me. Not asking for money, not asking people to throw their entire paycheck in the collection plate. That right there that's a spiritual mother. That is a place of worship. I couldn't just scream and shout, hallelujah, thank you, Lord, thank you. I couldn't do it then. I was too shy. I was too nervous. I was too broken. I was too concerned about how people were going to look at me for being weak and vulnerable and broken. And I didn't want nobody to judge me until I realized they weren't really doing that. There were people getting called to the front of the service who were beating addictions, struggling, trying to save their families, the prophecies that were being told about their life, it was unreal. That's when I knew. That's when I knew I had finally found my space. See, it wasn't about the building, it was about the messenger, it was about the body itself. And it's unfortunate that there's a lot of pastors out here in the world that use that against you. See, I wasn't wrong. But you've already lost when you're going into this space without having your own personal relationship. So you got to have your own. If you don't know them for yourself, that means that you're more liable to be controlled by somebody else. They can tell you whatever the hell you want to hear, and you're going to trust in them because you uncertain. Nah. You got to know for yourself. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Churches wherever you are. But he does want the whole body of Christ to be a body. You can't have the body divided. Most of us don't live the way we're supposed to, and that's a whole different conversation. All I'm saying is, if you want to figure out where you belong, you need to figure out if you even believe or not. Hold on, let me put this up on the screen real quick. Where is it? I went to church before, and I don't know why I felt so aggravated in there, but it was so bad I had to leave. And when I left, I felt at ease. Pay my car because I knew I wasn't supposed. That discernment. There's plenty of spaces where there's men, children, and women that are getting misled and being lied to. Most of these mega churches are full of it. From TD Jakes to Peter Popoff, most of them dudes is on some other stuff. They were one of the. I put it like this, man. Look at it this way. They are cheaters, cheat, but everybody isn't a cheater. People lie, but everybody ain't liars. When I say men ain't shit, you're saying all men ain't shit. But all men ain't shit. There are real decent men out here. When you say you can't trust nobody, that's not true. I made a post. I said nobody should be surprised by human nature. Period. You should not be surprised that people are wicked, they're lustful, they're carnal, they're manipulative, they'll do anything to survive, they're perverted, they feel like they're omnipresent. Some people think that they're actually a living, walking deity themselves. You should not be surprised at anything that humans do in 2026. But you also have to keep in mind that everybody ain't horrible. Everybody not going to hold you ransom. Everybody's not going to force you to love them. Everybody's not going to force you to stay in their life. Everybody is not there to take all your money. And everybody is not there to destroy your household or your lineage. There are still good people out here. And that's why I've always been probably one of the most unbiased, balanced people ever. I'd be so chill. I'd be so nonchalant. I really don't be tripping. Oh, you did this, you did that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess I can't really be surprised. I mean, it's been going on for generations. I don't condemn everybody in the world for something that somebody else individually did. You choose to be what you are. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not a follower. I decide. Just like you decide. And if you decide to be an asshole, a piece of shit, a control freak, insecure, if you choose not to walk in your purpose, if you choose to be evil and spiteful and angry and bitter, that's on you. Those are your decisions. I don't have to respond to it. I don't have to walk around in it. I don't have to stew in it. I don't have to associate with it. I don't have to attach myself to it at all, period. But I already know the end results because I've been there. I've experienced it. I've been on both sides of the fence. And folks take God for granted and take Jesus for granted. And I still do it sometimes. Because even as much as we wavered, even as much as we stray and we go off and do our own thing, we still here. So I understand where he's coming from. But I'm not going to condemn every church and every pastor. I'm not going to condemn every woman on the planet. I don't think every woman on the planet is a 304, and I don't think every man on the planet is a Chad or a Tyrone. I don't think every single human on the planet is serving the Illuminati. No, I don't think everybody on the planet is out to destroy it. That's programming. That's systemic. Someone has intentions. There are individual people who implement those deceptive plans. There are individual men and women who treat the country the way that they treat the country. It is not everybody. I will never condemn a single soul. I don't have the power to do that. It's not my place to judge or determine whether or not you have a change of heart or if you're this type of person or that type of person. God uses everybody. Even when they don't think they're being used, you can be a monster, pedophile, and all that. He'll use all of you as long as he gets the glory out of it and he gets his message out there and gets the point across. It all really depends on perspective and how you see it. When I see pedophiles, I think to myself, do y'all know your neighbors? Do you know your family? Can't you see that there is some spiritual wickedness in the midst of your household? When I see pedophiles and I see kids 16 and 14 years old in trap houses selling drugs and this, that, and the third, I think to myself, this is God's way of trying to tell you that there's a generational curse that has passed on from one person to the next person, and Satan has gotten his hands on your loved ones. Nobody is really waking up and seeing the patterns. You think it's just somebody that just up and said, "Oh, I want to sleep with children." It's not that. It's not that simple at all. When people are suicidal and they're depressed and they going through and they don't see no other way out, you think it's just a chemical imbalance? Really? Or if a person lacks confidence, you think that's just a chemical imbalance? How many thoughts go through your head on a regular basis in a 24-hour time span? Even as I'm talking to you, I've already thought about a million different things. Where are the voices coming from? Are they yours? Are they God's? Is it from the TV? Is it from social media? Where do the voices come from? Is it your family? Do you just conjure up your own thoughts alone and you just talking to yourself the whole time? When you're thinking about doing something bad and doing something good, or who do you think you're having a conversation with? Who put the suggestions in these kids to go out here and kill each other? Who put the thoughts in black men's heads to kill each other? Who put the thoughts in men and women's heads to get on social media and crash out on each other and troll each other? Who's putting the thoughts in your head to jump off of a 5-story building or to pop a whole bottle of aspirin? Who's talking to you? Can't convince me otherwise. You need fellowship. You need fellowship. You need people who know God, who love God, and walk it. You need people around you that are positive. You need people around you that's going to correct you with love, and they're going to tell you about yourself in the most poetic but assertive way possible. You cannot continue to have people sitting up here lying in your face. Only way you want to know who is who is if you have a relationship with God. When you have a relationship with God, He teaches you how to learn yourself. He teaches you how to really be who you are. You'll be able to pick up on other people and what they identify as soon as you come in contact with them, as soon as you have any type of conversations with them. Period. Like it, that's real talk. That's real. I'm gonna say this. Going into 2026, the last day, I had 2 different voices. Matter of fact, I had maybe 3. I can identify them. One was me, fired up, inspired, motivated. I was ready to conquer. I was ready to fight the obstacles. I was ready to break through and do the impossible. Something that nobody in my family has ever been able to do. I have the fire to do it, and I'm going to do it. That was that one voice. The other voice was, my nigga, you ain't doing this. You ain't shit. You got too much going on. You got way too much going on. You might as well pack it up, figure out what the hell you're gonna do, because they're gonna kick you out. Yeah, your folks don't really fuck with you like that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just go ahead and cut the bullshit. Stop lying to yourself, thinking that you're gonna do anything with this TV shit, this social media shit. Just stop it, my nigga. Stop it. And I had another voice that said, "You came too far. Stop listening to your demons. Stop listening to those spirits. They're trying to get you to kill yourself. They're trying to get you to kill off your future. They're trying to stop your blessings. They want you to rebuke and reject God. Stop listening to them voices. Stop listening to the people that tell you you can't do this. Stop listening to people who have nothing but negativity to say to you. Stop it. Multiple conversations. I decided that I was going to close out the year the way that I wanted to, and start it the way that I wanted to. I don't really care how anybody perceives it. This is my year. I found my church. I know God is real. I know Jesus is real. I know I'm destined for more. I'm a walking, living testimony. It's only His grace and mercy that I'm still here, because there's little kids out here that should be still alive, but they're not, because you got grown men and grown women out here crashing out every single day, taking the lives of their loved ones because they can't handle life, or because Satan has found a way to manipulate them and destroy them. Takes a certain type of strength not to allow something internal to deconstruct everything that you work for. Satan works from the inside out. He chips away at you from the inside out until you are nothing. All them people out here on the street, drugged out, strung out, all these folks that you see in Hollywood with all this money, even with this whole conversation with Tip talking about church, in aspects, yeah, he's right. But in other areas, he should still be encouraging people to find a church home, because they still exist. There are still actual churches out here. They don't have the same objectives that you're skeptical about. Everybody here has been done wrong at some point, and I'm gonna close out with this. Every single man and woman here has been done wrong, and you will be done wrong in the foreseeable future, because humans are unpredictable. Humans are just being humans. Some are easily manipulated, others have discipline and will and faith. When God has something for you, it cannot be removed from you. If you walk in your purpose, things will fall into place. And I have all the faith in the world in that. So this year, we're not just going to be gossiping and this, that, and the third. We here to heal. We're here to blossom. We're here to grow as adults. We're here to get our tribe back. We're here to get our households in order. We're here to save souls. We're here to bring people out of darkness. We too grown to still be playing around with childish ways. We got too many responsibilities. We got callings on our life. Period. So, shout out to T.I. I thank you for that, because that needed to be said, man. Y'all, you can't just assume everything is one way because your experience with one person. I wish you would have closed out with that at least. But I digress. Like I said, later on, we talking about Drake. So we definitely gonna have a nice little powwow. You heard? I want to close this week out strong, man. Grateful to be here another Friday, and I want to thank everybody who pulled up this morning for the show. Thank you. God bless. Let this year be beautiful. Let this year be what you need it to be. Let it be in God's design and not our own. Let us allow him to do what he needs to do perfect in us, so that we don't have to repeat the same thing that we did last year. We get in our own way sometimes. Y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend. Just in case we don't chop it up, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Thank you. And I will see you later, Lord willing. Peace. Oh, do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind. Hold on.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide is in front on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep long in this sing until I surpass